I'm a 36-year-old man, and I've been married for 12 years to my wife, a 33-year-old woman. We have a best friend relationship where we have always been really close. We also have been through a lot together. We have 3 kids. A little context is she was abused by her stepdad. About 7 years ago, she started to go to counseling for that and started to give me more details about it. She's also had a struggle with watching explicit content since she was really young. Her counselor has talked to her about how she coped with what happened to her. Long story short, for the past 5 years or so, she has been trying to stop watching it. Once she got over the explicit content, she got into romantic literature. And then about a year ago, she told me she felt consumed by it and asked me to put parental controls on her phone so she doesn't. I did not enforce this. I'm trying to be supportive of her journey. If she didn't feel bad, I wouldn't think much about it, but she said it sends her into a shame, depression spiral, and so she doesn't like it. About 2 years ago, I went to counseling with her because she felt like she wanted more from our intimate life. I'm fairly routine quick and have really tried to be better. But this is basically a recurring theme where she feels like she has a higher desire level than me. I don't think it's a higher drive, to be honest. I think it's actually that I'm fine doing the same thing every time. Anyways, this is the backdrop. Last week we got a letter in the mail about our dental insurance needing renewal. It was in her email and she asked me to renew it. I opened her email on the computer. We share one and use separate Chrome profiles. I saw a bunch of stuff in her email that was pretty shocking. I didn't want to make her feel bad. She has also been in a depression slump, so I realized that once again there was a correlation. The next day, while the kids were at school, we went on a walk and I tried to bring up the topic of how she was doing with it all and if that played a role in her mood. She was very resistant to talking, so I didn't push. A few days later, we were going to be intimate while the kids were in school. I was waiting for a break in work meetings and she went upstairs. When I went up, I realized she was listening to something adult-themed. Basically, she was trying to get herself ready. It kind of blew up because I felt disrespected. We argued a bit. I asked if there was anything else I needed to know about, and she said no. I then asked if I could see her phone, and she immediately opened it and started deleting something. I asked what it was, and figured out she had subscribed to some Patreon accounts that were males creating adult audio content for subscribers. We decided I should join her at her next counseling appointment, tomorrow, and get a perspective on this. The more we talked, she was saying her needs weren't being met by me, and then she said she's been uncomfortable having intimacy with me for 6 months, but she doesn't know why. Well, today I was home sick, and she was out of the house. I had a suspicion there was more she wasn't sharing. So I logged into her TikTok account. She used to spend hours on it. Her profile was basically discreet, not revealing her true identity, and she was only following strangers. No actual people. We know. I went into messages, and there were only a few, assumed the rest were deleted, and she had reached out to several guys to chat inappropriately. One was while she was on a girls' trip in February, and she said, I would have used a hookup app, but that seems like too much effort, so trying to find someone here who's in the same mood as me. I stewed on what to do for 3 hours. I know it was an invasion of privacy, but I also just feel like there's a pattern here, and I'm not sure how far it goes. To me, messaging a real person in that way is emotional cheating. Adult content. I can say I've never felt it was, just her own struggle. Now I am freaked out about how far this goes. She asked me later today if I logged into her TikTok. My login sent her an email. I told her what I found, and she basically shut down. She let me look at her phone, and I didn't find anything else. But I feel like she could have deleted it. She started to get defensive and say, it's partly my fault because our intimate life hasn't been good enough for her. How can I trust her again? How do we move beyond this?